What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk to you today about a heartbreaking story out of St. Mary's County, Maryland, involving this young lady right here. And this is tragic. And this is something we see a lot. This lady's name is Lav Microphone. Let me get my notes right. She was a mother of two, and she was expecting another child. Now, it didn't say what age this woman is, but she's fairly young. And looked like she had her life in order somewhat with, what direction she wanted to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady was taken off this planet last week. And it was at the hands of her boyfriend, this guy right here. This guy's name is Kenneth Price. He's from Washington, D.C., and he was the boyfriend. This guy, and they just had a baby shower recently, expecting a child. This guy, for some odd reason, flew off the handle, ladies and gentlemen. Went to the house of Miss Milburn, blasted her in front of their children, or the 7-month-old daughter. And she lost her life. Then he ran and was chased by police, where he then offed himself during the chase. I want to show you this video, and it talks a little bit about them. And the father's speaking in this video, right? And I want you to listen to 3 things he said that I want to talk about at the end of this story. This girl had her father in her life. And in my opinion, from what the way the guy talked and presented himself, he seemed like an all right dude. So I'm sure it was a reflection on his daughter. Who knows what put people in these various positions when people get tied up in affairs of the heart and emotions are involved. But I mean, you got to take a look at this, man. This is really sad. Look.
Lav Microphone was excited about being a mom again. She had a 6-year-old son and a 7-month-old daughter. And the St. Mary's County woman was working 2 jobs to provide for them.
She loved taking pictures with them, and just the whole, she was a mother. She was a mother, and they loved her.
James Richardson had seen his daughter just a few days before she was killed. They had gone out to dinner and talked. He had no idea her life was in danger.
I was not alarmed in any way that Sunday was going to be the last time I was going to see my baby.
That following Wednesday, October 16th, St. Mary's County deputies say her boyfriend, Kenneth Price of Washington, D.C., shot and killed Lav in her Lexington Park home. It was just before 11 in the morning in front of their baby daughter.
Initially, they thought that he shot her while she was holding the baby. But it turns out she may have fell on the baby after he shot her.
Deputies pursued Price into Charles County. According to the sheriff's office, Price stopped, got out of the car, got back in, then shot himself. He was later pronounced dead. Elijah's dad says he didn't know she was in a troubled relationship.
I'm just so happy that he didn't turn and shoot that baby.
Richardson is speaking out in hopes of preventing another tragedy. He wants dads to get more involved in their daughters' lives, for people to check on loved ones to make sure they're okay, and he wants women to leave if they're in danger.
They don't have to, and they should never have to subject themselves to the wrath of a man just because they have a child by that man.
Richardson shared this photo of Price and Lav at their baby shower. Richardson said he had given Price his number and told him to reach out if he ever needed to talk, but that never happened.
He could have picked up the phone and called me. I would have went to him and we could have talked, or he could have come to me, we could have talked, or we could have just went somewhere and hung out, walked and talked. He could have done that before he shot my baby.
Richardson is also encouraging men to reach out for help if they need it. He said relatives are taking care of Elijah's 2 children who will one day want to know what happened to their mom.
She didn't deserve this. Her kids don't deserve this.
Darcy Spencer, News 4.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story made. Lav Microphone, rest in peace. I'm going to tell you something. You know I'm going to get the credit where the credit due. I respect the father. I do. I respect that man. For him to sit up there with a straight face and knowing that he's going through all type of turmoil inside right now, I can respect him doing that interview. What he said was stand up, and it was 100% real. First thing he said was he wasn't aware his child was having problems. I think as a man and having a daughter myself, that would be the first thing that would tear me up inside after hearing the news that my child is gone. He had no idea. And you know, it's easy for people to say, why don't you say something, this and that? Nobody wants to admit when they're in an abusive relationship, whether it's a man or a woman. Most likely a woman, 9 out of 10 times. But nobody wants to admit that. Not the friends or the family. Hell, she might know what type of man her dad is. And she obviously knew what type of man Kenneth Price was, a violent one. And she didn't want them to cross paths on that plane. But either way, father's left hurt. Family have to raise the other 2 kids. Left to pick up the pieces as to why, because nobody knows, only them. They was the only ones in the house, besides the children, when he came in there and shot her to death. Then ran like a coward and took his own life. That's the first thing Dad said, y'all. Second thing he said was he wants fathers to be more involved in their daughters' lives, whether they're grown-ups or not. Now, I know he don't mean be intrusive, but, you know, let them know that the support system they had as children still stands when they need some type of counseling or anything like that as an adult. Said he also wanted women to leave when they're in danger, whether they got kids or not, by a person. Now, I agree with that too, but the thing is this. What do you do when somebody won't leave you alone? Hell, for all we know, she could have been at her wits' ends and told him that day she didn't want nothing to do with him no more, and he couldn't accept the rejection. Said she was working 2 jobs with a baby in her stomach. What was he doing? Said that was her house. That's a nice looking house. Now, I don't know if she was renting it or what, but it was a house. She invited this guy, Kenneth Price, into it. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people don't talk about this. A lot of times a man will meet a woman with something and he don't have a little bit of nothing, want to take it over, or he just feel as though he's intimidated because she has more than him. It could be anything, guys. It could be anything to spurn the insecurities in weak men. But I mean, one thing's for sure. What he did was a cowardice act. You shot this woman while she had your child inside of her. Weeks before not weeks, what is it, days? Because he said that was the last photo they took. And that was recently, days before, you took her life. After meeting her father. Third thing he said was what? And it's the part that's most heartbreaking to me. I gave him my number. Hey, you need something, you go through something, you can call me, talk to me, we can walk, talk, I'm here for you. This is my daughter. I accept you. He had to accept him, y'all, because he gave him his information. As my son, whether you married to her or not. I look at you as someone as value, just as I look at my own child who you took from me. I want that to sink in. He gave this guy an outlet to talk and speak when things are going on. Another man to talk to somebody. And that's a hell of an advantage because he raised that daughter. So you had the inside scoop. You did not have to take a gun and take her life and cause a horrific scene around that 7-month-old daughter, which I think is his as well. I want you to think about that. You can give somebody that's broken everything, all the outlets, and they still won't take the help. And I know that's crippling for that man to go through, y'all. It's crippling. And he's not the only one. This will happen again. And again and again, because a lot of people can't get out of their own damn head. She was working 2 jobs. What was you doing? That's the thing. Then you shot her and ran. And when they caught you, you jumped out the car, thought about it, got back in the car, boom. I don't want to go to jail. Why'd you do that in the first place? It's like people are quick to physical anger, but slow to resolve anything. You pull that trigger, that bullet ain't going back in that gun. And all of a sudden you left there after the devil got in you for a little bit and then jumped back out of you, left to pick up the pieces and don't know why you did what you did. All you remember was you was mad. It's like people don't think through no more. I wonder what Kenneth Price's family upbringing was like. Did he have a father in his life? Did anybody teach him conflict resolution? Because, I mean, this goes deeper than just somebody shooting somebody else in the face that they got a baby by. That's the thing. All of these evil vines that you see have roots. And sometimes you trace back to the root, you'll see this was a recipe for disaster from the very start. Not just for Miss Milburn, but for other people that are out there, whether they male or female. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.